is Step 1 with Freddie Wilson. Welcome to another episode of Step 1. I'm Freddie Wilson. We got a great show coming up for you guys today. We have my good friend, Ben Lefkowitz, on the show today. He's a lifelong Patriots fan. He's beginning to accept the fact that the Patriots are now awful. And Mac Jones is not the guy. We have a recap of a wild weekend of college and NFL football games. And of course, we will do a full preview of next weekend's games. All right, let's ride. Before we get into the show, we do have an unofficial sponsor for today's show. Today's show is brought to you by the upcoming Taylor Swift Eras Tour concert movie coming out tomorrow. Experience, or in my case, relive, the magical atmosphere of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Singing and dancing is encouraged for this incredible theatrical experience. So come on down and shake it off at the Taylor Swift Eras Tour concert film in theaters everywhere tomorrow. And now, let's start the show. All right, for college football, wild weekend. Just great weekend of college football, even though there was a lot of teams on bye weeks. It was a fun weekend. Georgia, remind us, they are still very much a good team with a big win against Kentucky. Louisville is 6-0 for the first time since 2013. Oklahoma beats Texas down in Dallas. That was a game that lived up to the hype. Every type of crazy play that could happen in football did happen that game. We had multiple interceptions, a blocked punt return for a touchdown, and a last-second touchdown by Oklahoma to win the game. We almost had a crazy upset at the LA Coliseum. Arizona was up 17-0, and USC had to fight their way back to win in triple overtime, I should add. I think Lincoln Riley, I don't think he understands something crucial about Pac-12 football. The two schools from the state of Arizona, we got Arizona State, we got the University of Arizona. They're never going to be good. They are never serious contenders. But they love ruining the seasons of serious contenders. As a Ducks fan, I'm always worried about that when we play one of those schools. The game I have circled on the calendar for this season, it's not USC, it's not Utah, it's not Washington. It's that game against Arizona State. We go down to Tempe late in November to play them. And that is the game I'm very worried about, especially if we're good this year, which I think we will be, because they just love ruining people's dreams. We saw this in 2019. A freshman, Jaden Daniels, back when he was at ASU, he beat Herbert and the Ducks. No one thought ASU was going to win that game, but they did. So, Lincoln Riley didn't get the memo that you need to take a team from Arizona very seriously. You struggled against ASU. You struggled against Arizona. Sure, you got to win, but we expect more from you and USC. USC, once again, didn't look great. Offense took a while to get going, and defense is still not great for how good their offense is. There's one final game I want to talk about this weekend. Last week on the show, I talked about Miami coach Mario Cristobal and how he often makes questionable play calls in crunch time. Well, he proved my point this week. The game was over. He had 3-point lead. He had the ball. There was 30 seconds left. It was 3rd and 10. Georgia Tech had no timeouts. All you got to do is take a knee. That's not what Mario Cristobal called. Instead, he decides, you know what, we're going to run out the clock. They run the ball. They fumble it. Then Georgia Tech marches down the field and scores a game-winning touchdown to win the game. I don't know what Mario was thinking on this one. This was probably the worst play call you could ever do. The game was over. You were going to win. I sat on my couch for a good minute and just laughed. And again, I like Mario Cristobal. He's a good guy, good recruiter. But I'm glad he's no longer coaching at Oregon. Because say what you want about Dan Lanning, he would never do that. All right, moving into the NFL this past weekend. Fun weekend in the NFL. Thursday night down in Landover, Maryland. Chicago Bears got their first big win. They absolutely dominated Commanders. Huge shout out to my man, DJ Moore. Had him on my fantasy team this week. 3 touchdowns. Really appreciate that, DJ. Keep up the good work. In the early games on Sunday, we had a big win by the London Jaguars against the Buffalo Bills. feel like the NFL is secretly trying to move the Jaguars to London, which again, it's a bad idea for a number of reasons. There are rumors that the Jaguars want an absurd amount of money from the city of Jacksonville for their new stadium renovation, or they claim they will leave. First of all, I don't like this. I'm not big on cities of a lot or teams of a lot of money asking cities for with no money for public funding. But also Jacksonville Stadium, it's already awesome. They have a swimming pool in the stadium. You can watch an NFL game from the comfort of a pool in the stadium. What else do they want? You can't beat a swimming pool in the stadium. In other games, we had a wild game between the Ravens and Steelers, with the Steelers defense come in the clutch to help them give them a win. I'm starting to feel like this team is going to be a playoff contender, solely because of how good their defense is. It's kind of like that Chicago Bears team in 07 when I went to the Super Bowl. The offense wasn't much to write home about. To give you some context, Rex Grossman was their quarterback. Can't say I know a whole lot about Rex Grossman. I don't think he was that good. But that defense was very good. Took them to a Super Bowl. Also, I think today we can say the Bengals are back on track with a big win. I know they were playing the Cardinals. The Bengals have a lot of work to do. But again, we are a Joe Burrow podcast. We will find a way to talk about the Bengals. Last but not least, the Patriots are absolutely in panic mode after an embarrassing loss today. But we will talk more about that in an interview with my good friend, Ben Lefkowitz. In the afternoon games, we have the Jets get a big win against the Broncos. Love how Sean Payton went off on Nathaniel Hackett in the offseason, saying he was a bad coach, he mismanaged the team. The Broncos were one of the most penalized teams last season. Well, the Jets walked in there with Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator and got the big win against the Broncos. And now the Broncos are the most penalized team in the league. Breece Hall got his redemption game because last time he went to Denver, he tore his ACL, and then he walked back in there and had a monster game. And last but not least for the Swifties, your favorite player, Travis Kelce, had a nice touchdown, even though Taylor was very much not at the game. That was the biggest story of that game, was that Taylor was not in the building. I feel like most Taylor Swift fans probably turned off the game once they realized she wasn't there. But if you stuck with it, at least you saw an accurate depiction of the NFL, where Kirk Cousins just is not that good. Moving into Sunday night's game, where American hero Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers absolutely demolished the Dallas Cowboys. A reminder that if you haven't already, please sign my petition to give Brock Purdy the Medal of Honor. The link's in my bio on Instagram. I would really, really appreciate if you gave a signature. We're really trying to make this happen. I made a promise that I would bring back and promote the petition if he beat the Cowboys again, which he did. Thank you, Brock Purdy, for putting the Cowboys in their place. You are a national treasure. For our final game of the week, this one was a tough one for me. Really thought the Packers were going to get the win on this one. Really thought they were going to win. I was so confident until the end. The defense, it looked good. I mean, the Raiders' offense is pretty bad, but the defense looked really good. Our offense, ways to go. I want to go on record on this podcast and say I still believe in Jordan Love. And I am a proud member of a group I like to call the Loverfest. That being said, it's not his best game, but I have faith, and our season is far, far from over. We got a bye week this week, and to take a saying from Oregon coach Dan Lanning, it's not a bye week, it's a work week. And now, let's get to the interview with my good friend, Ben Lefkowitz. Okay, today we welcome on a very special guest, my good friend, Ben Lefkowitz. Ben, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Freddie? Thanks for having me.
Doing all right. All right, so we are going to start off before we get to any sports topics. There's a reason why I'm wearing this shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Ben and I have always had this debate. This is my first date shirt. I think it's a good move. I think you show up on a first date, women like the confidence.
I think that our viewers, your viewers, would really appreciate you standing up, giving a little twirl.
Well, I mean, I'm not wearing the proper pants or anything, but he else can't even see it. But we might put a little poll up when this episode comes out. We'll let the good
Yeah, that'd
people
be
of
good.
Step One country decide. We'll put a little poll.
Well,
It's a good shirt on a first date. I'm telling you.
I appreciate the confidence. I think that the confidence is key. You show people exactly who you are. It just, I feel like you're going out to drinks, you're going out to dinner. You wanna dress to impress. Listen, obviously you're a very impressive man, Freddie. but I feel like you don't want anything that'll throw someone off guard. You know what I mean? And you don't live in a very tropical climate. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about? Eugene's practically a rainforest. It rains here all the time.
And that means that everyone's out wearing Hawaiians all the time.
I mean, no, most people just, wear their Patagonia jackets, but I think this is pretty cool.
You think that's pretty? So here's a hypothetical. You're going out with someone in like the dead of winter. Are you wearing that under a winter coat?
I mean, I wear the coat and then I take the coat off once we get into the venue.
Boom, Hawaiian.
I mean, I don't even zip up the shirt or the jacket. They're gonna see it.
What are some of the comments? I know I'm kind of interviewing you right now. What are some of the comments you've gotten as you unveil the Hawaiian on the first day?
Usually, I don't address the Hawaiian. I usually address the fact that I'm bald.
But you rock the bald.
Yeah, the Hawaiian so usually is what comes up first. Yeah. I mean, I used to address it. Now I just don't even wear the hat, and I'm just like, this is me.
I do like that hat.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
But speaking of things that aren't impressive, we're going to talk about the Patriots. You're a Patriots guy.
Unfortunately.
So we're recording this right after the game. Tough loss. Yeah. Tough loss today.
Impossible. Like, it didn't seem like the Pats could get much worse than how they played against the Cowboys.
You just lost
and then got blown out in Gillette. I don't know if that's when that's ever happened before.
I mean, because usually when this happened in the past, when they were like good, people would love to panic just because it was fun to panic about the Patriots.
Yeah.
And always had that one game where, is it over? Is the dynasty dead?
It's done, yeah.
But then they would just be like, no, we're the Patriots, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Not looking great. Do you think the tanking is going to start happening? Do you think they're going to try to go for Caleb?
I don't think we tank. I don't think we purposely tank because I don't think Belichick can would ever comprehend or think of the idea of tanking. You know what I mean? I think if anything, Belichick sees how god awful this team is because it's not just Mac Jones, right? You don't get to 1-4 and get blown out at home just because your quarterback sucks. The offensive line was playing terribly. The wide receivers weren't showing up. Everything just seems off in this team. And so I feel like maybe Belichick sees this as an opportunity to start just not necessarily tank, but focus on developing the younger core of the team and just having them play as many minutes as possible.
I mean, isn't Mac Jones the youngest QB on the team? Are your backups older dudes?
I don't know. You have Malik Cunningham, you have Bailey Zappi.
Oh yeah, Hoyer's
That got pulled today,
I still feel like if Belichick tanked, there would be some scandal, some ching scandal about how he tanked. I don't know what it would be, but they would find a way to create a scandal out of it. He stole sides so they could intentionally lose.
right. They wanted to learn the defensive strategy so they could play into the strategy.
Or a reverse spy game where he intentionally gives away his play calling sides.
When the monitor goes up to him, he just flips his little sheet.
This is what we're doing. This is how you stop it. We want Caleb Williams.
We want him so bad.
I don't think he's going to the Patriots. Hate to break it to you.
No. That's the thing. We'll probably get a top 10 pick.
It'll be a top 10 pick. It's a good quarterback here. You'll do all right.
Yeah. But it's we don't just need a quarterback. I mean, we need
you need a whole new team.
We need O-linemen. We need everything except for the defense. The defense is good.
I mean, was it? There was a pick six.
Judon and Christian Gonzalez are both out.
That is true. Christian Gonzalez, Oregon guy, by the way.
True.
Gotta watch him play.
He was probably going to be defensive rookie of the year. he was looking good. He had the best I don't know, whatever ranking for rookies this year before he got injured. Now he's out for the season, which just sucks.
Yeah, it does suck, but he's going to be good. You have a bright future with that guy.
And the defense, like during Brady's last game as a Patriot, the defense was old and sucked. I mean, everything sucked, but like Belichick has done a good job rebuilding the defense. He just doesn't know how to draft an offense.
I mean, it was fitting that he drafted an Alabama quarterback as Brady's replacement. Like he and Nick Saban, they go way back. They're best friends.
Yeah.
I
Mac was
love
also,
that.
to be fair, Mac was also like the last guy on the board. Like
I mean, for a first round, yeah. But I love
Yeah.
that they did that documentary where they like talked about their annual meeting, and they like start filming a meeting, and they're both like, "Hey, can we like be alone for a few minutes?" Some guy happened to leave the camera on. It wasn't even I think they're like friends, but I don't think they really care much about each other because it went like, "How are you doing? Good. How are you? Good. All right, let's talk football." And then it was just all about football for about an hour. I don't think they ask anything about like, how's the wife and kids?
Yeah, right. Well, I don't like that's not surprising to me about Belichick, right? Like, is Belichick going to do that for anyone?
Probably not.
Yeah, but yeah, he's going to get right down to business. I just like it looks like Mac. I don't know. Mac might be done. Who knows?
You're not
Josh
high Mac Jones anymore.
I'm not. How can you be behind Mac Jones? I mean, look at what's going on. At the same time, some of those interceptions were not Mac's fault.
Yeah.
Like Ramondre dropped the ball. I guess that was technically like a fumble or whatever. Ramondre dropped the ball. Like some of the passes, a couple of the interceptions this season have just been like the receiver like fumbling a good pass. But I don't. It just feels like Mac isn't that guy.
Because you were so high on Mac Jones.
Well, Mac.
You were like posting like, "Welcome to Massachusetts."
I don't know if I posted that.
You did.
I don't know if I went that far.
He threw like 20 completions in a row or something his rookie year, which was a record for
He had a
something.
10-win rookie year.
But you like they lost that game, but you were like, he's the Mac Attack. Welcome to Massachusetts.
Mac Attack. Well, yeah, I mean, like everyone was saying Mac Attack.
Mac Attack. What an era, the Mac Attack.
Yeah, the 1 year of Mac Attack, and then how much did we lose to the Bills by in that first playoffs?
Oh, a good amount, but you got to give it up to the good people, Buffalo. They need to win like that.
Yeah, they don't have much else going on in that city.
I mean, if you've been to Buffalo, they just love Buffalo in Buffalo.
Yeah,
I went to Duff's Famous Wings. They have a wall of famous people from Buffalo.
Oh,
there's not a lot of famous people from Buffalo.
How are the wings?
The wings are fantastic.
Okay, good.
Duff's Famous Wings. We'll plug that. Great spot. Great.
Yeah,
wings.
and this we're not being sponsored right now.
No, I'm just a fan of Duff's.
Genuinely love Duff's Fit.
I have a shirt and everything.
Good.
But my favorite Wall of Fame ever was if you've seen A Dark Knight, right?
Yeah.
So you know that opening scene where one of the guys in the bank, when the Joker's robbing a bank teller takes out a shotgun.
Sure.
Maybe takes out one guy that's not the Joker.
Yeah, it has like a minute of screen time.
And he still dies.
Right.
Like the Joker still wins. Well, that guy is from Buffalo.
That guy's from Buffalo. And they put him right up on that wall.
I don't even remember his name, but they just like think he embodies the spirit of Buffalo. Like, you know what? He didn't go down without a fight. I'm like, he didn't win.
No.
Like,
he lost really bad.
Died.
Yeah.
Like
really, he took out one of the Joker's guys.
I think that's just sums up Buffalo. They just try really hard.
They care.
They care.
Yeah.
They don't go down without a fight.
And you know what? Credit to them. They've stuck with their Bills team through thick and thin.
I mean,
they
watched 4 years of them making the Super Bowl every year and not winning any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was the 90s before either of us were alive.
Yeah, and then you had them through the Brady era where Brady just owned the Bills.
Their one win, I think one of the few wins they had in that era was when Brady was suspended. But a Buffalo Bills had like
best day of their lives before Josh Allen came around.
But yeah, big Josh Allen guy.
Yeah, you're a big Josh Allen guy?
I mean, I think I said this on the show, but like when he's on, he is the most entertaining player to watch. Just like
He's electric.
he does all these things like ill-advised runs, kind of reckless, but like it's kind of fun.
It does make the game like a lot more fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like
I would have a
Lamar
heart
Jackson.
attack if he was my quarterback, but
I would not complain. There was some commentator early on that was like, I'd rather have Mac Jones over Josh Allen any day.
who
I've
on
seen that.
earth would think that?
I've seen that surfacing lately because it was like right when Mac was drafted, there was some commentator that was like, "Yeah, I'd take Mac over Josh Allen any day." And now that's surfacing again and again to be like, "What? This might be the single most awful take in human history."
I mean, my whole show is just me giving off bad takes.
Oh yeah.
I
So what's
mean,
your worst take of the week?
worst take of the week. I mean, at least so far, I've been pretty on, at least with the college football games yesterday. Like, we'll talk about it like in the show, but like, I was like, hey, like, head coach of Miami football, Mario Cristobal, not great during crunch time. We saw that yesterday.
It's true.
Like, all that to do was take a knee.
Yeah. Yep.
I laughed for a good minute on my couch. I'm like, this is just too good. And I'm so glad he's not our coach anymore. And I thought, like, no, Louisville could win. They did win. They beat Notre Dame. Like, I've been pretty on so far. I was a
Okay.
little off about I think the Steelers were going to win. They just won, by the way.
Yeah.
Didn't think that was going to happen.
That was pretty wild.
I mean, they scored one touchdown. Like, they got a safety and like a couple field goals, but hey, give them some credit. They got the job done. It was a good game. I was right about that.
Okay.
But we shall see what the rest of the week of the NFL unfolds. We still have the Packers game tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. You think I've started Aaron Jones in my fantasy lineup. Is that the right decision?
I mean, he's questionable.
He's questionable. He got what?
He might not play tomorrow, and even if he does, he might not get many touches. But
yeah,
we want Aaron Jones back. He makes the offense so much better.
He's so good.
He's good, and Jordan Love, I like him, but again, he needs help.
Yeah, he does.
We're big on Jordan Love, by the way.
You're big on Jordan Love? You like Jordan Love?
I mean, he beat the Bears. That's all that matters. Like, we might only win 2 games. Well, we've already
okay, but the Bears weren't the Bears before like this week the only team. I saw this stat. They were the only team to not win a game since Elon bought Twitter.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
Like it was, I think a calendar year went by before they won a game.
Yeah, it was like 14 straight losses.
It wasn't. It's not a great time to be a Bears fan.
No.
But
you know what?
I stand in
solidarity with with the Bears fans.
I stand solidarity with Bears fans.
Ass franchise.
I mean, I have one buddy who's a Bears fan. Shout out to my boy Ben Levy, by the way. Mm-hmm. And every time I text him after that game, he's just like, "This is an embarrassment to the city of Chicago. You don't know what it's like to be a Bears fan." I'm like, "No, I don't, and it's great. I don't know what it's like, and I never want to."
Thank God.
I like turning on the team thinking, you know what, my team might have a chance to win.
It's true. Listen, the Packers are looking okay in the post-Rodgers era.
That Lions game was a hit, Bo.
Yeah, but the Lions are good this year.
Yeah. Oh, you hear my roommate's a Lions fan now?
Oh, seriously?
So we watched that week 18 game last year, the one where the Lions knocked the Packers out of the playoffs. Wow. And he just despite me, he's like, I'm a Lions fan now. One pride, baby.
It was just that game. There's no.
I mean, he watched that. I think he watched Hard Knocks after with the Lions fell in love with.
He doesn't have like a third cousin who went through the Detroit airport one day.
No, I think he just I think he was like, he thought I was like fighting with Jamal Williams, where that Naruto had band there in the intro. I think he thinks Dan Campbell's a character, which he is. Dan Campbell is a funny guy.
You gotta love Dan Campbell. No one hates Dan Campbell.
He looks like a WWE wrestler who happens to coach football.
Yeah. When he's like crying over his team's losses, like you just gotta.
I mean, he's a man of emotion. He's a good coach, but again, I gotta take the Lions seriously now.
You do.
I never thought those words would ever come out of my mouth.
I know. It's been years.
It's been a long time. Not in my lifetime. they were always good for that one, maybe random win against the Packers.
Right.
I was there for one of those off wins.
Wow. When was that?
I want to say 2015 because Calvin Johnson was still on the team. It was cool seeing him play, but just remember the Packers did everything right except the game-winning field goal. Like we get the onside kick, we get the ball down the field. I'm like, you know what? And it was I don't even remember how the Packers were that year. I just remember being at that game, and I'm like, this was unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. When you lose on a missed field goal, it's like that's the kicker's one job. That's all they do in practice. They just
Mason
kick.
Crosby gave us plenty of good memories and a lot of bad memories, and a couple heart attacks.
Yeah.
There was definitely some times where Mason Crosby gave me a heart attack or took a few years out of my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not on the team anymore, so we got a new guy.
More. How's your new guy?
I mean, he's a rookie. His name's Anders. Anders Carlson.
Nice.
Yeah, we drafted a kicker.
Okay.
Did we draft a receiver in the first round? No, but we got a kicker.
You got a kicker.
Not in the first round. That would be dumb, but
that would be hilarious.
That would be the most Packers thing. You know what? Let's draft a kicker in the first round. This guy's gonna be good. We need a kicker.
Exactly. This kicker is gonna go high. We better get him.
Yeah, we gotta play it safe.
Mm-hmm. So how far are the Packers making it this year? Oh, sorry. If you had
Nah, that's a fine question. How far are the Packers making it?
Yeah.
I think we could run the table, maybe. Jordan Love gets more comfortable in the system with a few injuries. Bakhtiari, that hurts. He's got out for the season again.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's just maybe a couple of years down the road will be a threat again.
It's true. Hey, you guys are looking good this year. When Jones is back and fully healthy,
I still wake up on Sundays excited to watch the Packers, which I think is a good thing.
That's good. And I'm, that for me is very quickly diminishing.
I'm still happy that I get to watch them. I haven't ruled them out yet.
Okay, good.
Because one of those losses we should have won, and then the Lions are the Lions.
Right.
But yeah, that Falcons loss, could have won that game. We lost to Desmond Ridder. Gross.
Not much you can do about that.
Yeah, not a big Desmond Ridder guy. I mean, I think he's a cool dude. I just don't think he's that good of a player.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
I just think he's the definition of an average quarterback. And he took Mariota's spot. We're Marcus Mariota guys on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Mariota wasn't playing awful. It wasn't great either.
No, that's right.
Last year, because I live in Eugene, Oregon, until Mariota got benched, they would always have the Falcons as the local game here.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're like, Doc Sands want to see Mariota. And I'm like, yeah, but do we really want to watch the Falcons play the Panthers when there's another better game on?
Yeah, a lot of better games on.
Yeah. Speaking about that, I actually have a quiz question for you. So the Patriots Saints game was broadcasted primarily in New England and New Orleans. Okay. There was just a little sliver of a TV map in Fresno, California. Do you want to guess why that was?
Why was it?
Because Derek Carr went to Fresno State.
Seriously?
So they're the good people of Fresno.
The good people of Fresno.
Ravens or Steelers? No, we're giving you Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. That's all.
I think he's been in the league for a while. He hasn't been in Fresno in a while, but they just thought they still like Derek Carr. He's their guy. We're gonna give Fresno a gift.
And I guess they probably really liked watching that game.
I mean, if there's someone who's a Fresno State fan down there who just still loves Derek Carr, then sure.
They've got a Carr Fresno State jersey that they wear every week.
I don't even know. I wasn't watching college football at the time when he was on there. I don't even know how good he was on Fresno State.
I don't know. I mean, he got drafted.
He did get drafted. Fresno State's not a bad team. They did lose last night, but they're not a bad team.
Not a bad team.
Yeah, they played the Ducks a few years ago, gave us a run for our money.
Yeah. And how long was he? He was drafted to the Raiders, right?
Drafted to the Raiders. Now he's on the Saints.
Yeah.
He was the last member of the Oakland Raiders in Vegas, and then he got traded. Now none of those guys ever played in Oakland.
Right, right. I always liked Derek Carr. I mean, like, under here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Patriots coaches before this year always look good under Belichick. So Josh McDaniels, offensive coordinator for the Pats, 10-win rookie season with Mac Jones. Him and Mac are connecting so well. And then every single time Pats coaches move on, I mean, not every single time, but a lot of the time, Pats coaches move on from the Patriots and they just suck on
And
other
then they
teams.
go back.
Yeah, and then they go back, and then they come back like desperate for their jobs again. I guess like the Raiders are doing okay this year. Josh Jacobs kind of sucks. Like
They're a 2-2 team. Like they're Jimmy G, not the guy.
No, they're fine. But like, last year, Derek Carr isn't a bad quarterback, and the Saints are showing that. But just like Josh McDaniels, I don't know if he's actually the head coach material.
I think he's come back to New England in a couple of years for a third stint.
I don't know if he'll come back to New England because now we kind of suck. The Pats aren't really the team that you want to go back to.
You need
right
an
now,
offensive coordinator. Who's your guy this year? It's not Patricia.
Bill O'Brien.
He's done. Bill O'Brien?
Bill O'Brien, yeah.
Couldn't hack it as a head coach, but he's trying out again in New England.
Yeah. And look how that's turning out. I mean,
I
thought for a second I thought it was better than Matt Patricia. Like, first 2 losses of the year. I mean, we do have the hardest schedule in the NFL, easily, right? And first 2 losses were like, it's like these moral victories, right? Like, they were good losses. And just some stupid mistakes. Like, what was it against Miami or something? Sorry, I'm blanking, but
you were close. You were close to getting that 4th down conversion.
Exactly. Like, we were pretty close, and it was like this rookie receiver who just couldn't get his feet down.
Oh yeah, tough loss.
Yeah. So it's like you're seeing that, and you're like, okay, maybe like Bill O'Brien's injecting some life into this offense. We beat the Jets again. What was like 15 times in a row we've beat the Jets, and these past 2 games, you're just like, oh my god, we got blown out at home. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe Bill O'Brien's not that guy. I don't know what's gonna happen to the team this year. I don't think we're gonna purposefully tank, but we might just suck so bad that we do tank.
What are your thoughts of a lighthouse in Gillette Stadium, by the way?
I like it.
You like it?
I like it. It was fun. It's fun.
What do they do with it? Is it just there? Do they do something like cool? I think, don't they like light it at the start of the game or something?
Didn't they? I know, like, with the first game, they have that bell.
They had the bell. Got it.
The bell, and Brady rung the bell.
I think it'd be cool though, like if they did like a Sacramento Kings thing, like if they win the game, which isn't gonna happen, they do like a light the house or something. Game. Like the Sacramento Kings. I'm all about lighting the beam.
Yeah. They might have something planned if we, win a game at home.
Like, yeah. Because when did you win a game at home, or was that game in MetLife?
I'm pretty sure that game was at MetLife. Pat's schedule.
So maybe once you win a game at home, you'll get to light the house.
That's
doing some Googling.
I'm doing a little Googling. Okay.
I think it was at MetLife.
I think it was at MetLife.
But again, like it'd be like cool if you had like a chant like light the house. Like, because I'm all about the Pats.
The Pats were at home.
Okay, so did you do anything after you won?
I didn't. I mean, I was, watching. Like, I was like watching the live coverage. I didn't see anything.
They should do something because I'm all about the beam in Sacramento.
Yeah, that would be sick.
It's the coolest thing. Like, is it necessary? No, but is it awesome? Yes.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And also, like, it did help that the team all of a sudden won. They won because of the beam.
Yeah.
Like, I know it was like
that's their only
like this cool story about like some fan who like purple beams or something. It was like very much a marketing idea, but like,
which is fine.
What do you even go like? How are we gonna get us back on a map? And someone's like, we get a giant beam that beams up in the stadium. Every time we win, we light the beam.
Exactly. Let's just like pray there's not a plane up there.
I think they
Like
have
that
to tell. I think they have to tell like the local airport, like, hey, like the Kings won, the beam's lit.
they must. They must. Yeah, avoid this area at all costs. There's a huge beam in the air.
When I went to about a Clippers Kings game, I took part in some light the beam chants.
Oh yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's hard not to. It's catchy.
Exactly. That
What
is
if a
pretty
what if
catchy.
a
Well,
Clippers fans gonna chant like, "Let's go Clippers"? Like
yeah,
lame.
that's so boring.
Like light the beam.
That's
I
pretty
mean, the
sick.
Kings did
Oh,
win in a game where not every team wanted to play defense.
right.
It was that
What
It was like that record second highest scoring game in NBA history. It was like 176 to 175 and
that's
double overtime.
that's ridiculous. But
It was
what would the chant be at Gillette? Like
light the house.
light the house. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like you gotta light the house. Or
Yeah,
you can do ring the bell if they like ring the bell at the end of the game.
that'd be kind of cool. Ring the bell every time they like score.
I mean, that would be kind of cool, actually.
Kind of cool. Imagine if like, you get the job of ringing the bell, like maybe they give it to a fan or something, and then your job was to ring the bell that game where they're blown out. You're just standing there.
I mean, they fired the muskets after they score, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They didn't have to fire any today. Those guys probably
No,
stood there like, this is boring.
so boring. Yeah, exactly. You're just standing there. You're not doing anything.
Do you have like a favorite touchdown or like home run celebration in sports?
Hmm. That's listen. Whenever Poppy would hit a home run, the classic. It's so iconic.
I mean,
That
yeah, that what I do miss David Ortiz hitting dingers all
Yeah.
the time.
that was awesome. I don't know right now. Probably my favorite general celebration, and this isn't like a touchdown celebration, but my favorite general is every time Judon does the after getting a sack.
Mhm.
That's pretty sick. I mean, that's like with the red sleeves, seeing him fling it over, like that's a cool feeling to watch. But now he's injured.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick, I'll pick a couple. I got a home run celebration, like
Yeah,
Milwaukee Brewers burying a Brewer, sliding down the slide. It's
that's pretty awesome.
unnecessary, but it's fun.
Yeah,
They always do that at the start of the first inning too, apparently, just in case they
really,
don't hit a home run. Just so like a little kid,
just so they get to use
like,
the
I
slide.
saw it.
Yeah.
Like, because it is kind of fun.
Right, that is fun.
So there's that. The Columbus Blue Jackets fire a cannon every time they score.
That's awesome.
It is really cool to just have a cannon at the fire.
Whose job is it to like maintain the cannon? Like, how do you get that job?
I mean, it's probably just someone who works for the team.
Guy.
Like, all right, or like a Civil War era like weapons
Yeah.
specialist. I'm not sure how old the cannon is.
They pull the maintenance staff. Like, who's just like really into the Civil War?
I mean, I don't even know. It could be a replica. Who knows how old it is?
It's true. Probably. I would assume it's not a Civil War cannon.
No, I think that'd be a little faulty. It fires blanks as well.
Right.
Well, you can't fire actual projectiles.
Oh, that would be bad.
That
That
would
would
be really cool if
end
it fired like confetti.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there any other cool celebrations? Like, there's not like iconic like football touchdown things. It's always just a siren.
It's always the siren. I mean, you've got some good like team celebrations. You don't really. I mean, Gronk had the spike. That was awesome.
The Gronk spike was cool.
The Gronk spike was classic. And now you got the gritty.
Got the
Right.
gritty.
Yeah.
All
Got
the
the
kids want to do the gritty.
Everyone wants to do the gritty.
I have no clue what the gritty is still. I haven't locked down what it is.
I do. I don't even try to do the gritty,
When I coach like basketball, these kids are like, yo, coach, do the gritty. I'm like, can you remind me what it is?
You don't want to see me do that.
I'm like, let's win the game first, and then maybe we'll try that.
Right. And how many games did you win?
Well, it depends which team.
Okay, fair.
I mean, the team I won the most games with, I had a 7th grade boys basketball team. We went 4-2.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
we
fun.
ran like 2 plays, but we were really good at those 2 plays.
If those 2 plays work, you take that.
I mean, one of them was just a pick and roll. It wasn't even a play.
A classic play. if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I mean, only two kids have to do something. The other kids just stay out of the way. But hey, I'm like, hey, we're gonna learn how to do this. You know why? It's all this thing in the book because it works.
It works. It works. The pros do it. You see Tatum doing the pick and roll.
Yep, you see Tatum doing the pick and roll. Also, Drew Holiday's on the Celtics now. You excited for that?
Yeah, this team is gonna be disgusting.
It's gonna be good.
I'm excited. The Pats might suck, but we've still got the C's.
Let's not forget the Bruins, Ivor.
The Bruins, that's true. That's true. I don't really follow hockey. I'll be honest.
Last season, I don't know if you heard, record-breaking season, losing the playoffs in the first round.
I did see that. I did. That was against what, the Rangers?
Florida Panthers.
Oh, Florida Panthers.
Yeah,
okay.
Florida. See, proud hockey tradition.
Yep.
You know, they throw rats on the ice. Or like, it started off as some weird like superstition thing when they were like first a franchise. They found like a rat in the locker room or something.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it became good luck to like throw rats on the ice. Plastic rats, not real ones.
Okay. That's good.
I think one time someone threw a real dead rat, and I'm like, where'd you get that?
Yeah, you had to search for that. They definitely found it in their home, and they're like, oh, I've got an idea.
Yeah, that's a weird hockey traditions can get a little weird. Like, I've never understood the octopus in Detroit. Like, you're in Detroit, where do you get octopuses?
Nowhere good.
And also, like, you have to like walk around with that thing and like, ugh.
Yeah, but no, the Celtics are going to be insane this year.
They're going to be good.
That's going to be a fun team to watch.
It's going to be a fun team to watch. You know, I'm going to the home opener in New York.
Am I going to go in the home?
Oh, I'm going.
Oh, you're going?
Yeah. Celtics Knicks at the Garden. Really excited for that one.
That's going to be sick.
It's going to be pretty cool.
Okay, maybe I can look into tickets.
Oh, they're not cheap. Long story that I can't go into on how I got them.
Okay.
Let's just say we found a way.
We found a way.
Just
like your T-Swift tickets.
T-Swift, yeah. For those of you who don't know, I may have had to like run out of the basketball practice I was coaching to go read the credit card number over my phone. My mom's friend was buying my tickets on my Ticketmaster account. Apparently, we needed my credit card.
Totally worth it though.
Well, she's like blowing my phone. I'm like, what's your credit card number? It can only be yours.
Oh wow.
So like dart out of a gym, like come read the credit card number, get the tickets, come back to the gym, like kind of sweaty, a little out of breath. Hadn't ran that fast in a number of years, to say the least. And all these like sixth grade girls were very confused by their coach just like left them.
Yeah, just
and like, oh, it was a family emergency.
I forgot you told them it was a family emergency.
Well, they knew that was
this podcast.
They knew that was fake.
Right.
So like 10 minutes later, they're like,
you should have just told them. They would have so respected that.
Well, the reason why I didn't tell them is there was still teachers out in the hallway, and I just like didn't want to hear a teacher like overhear me saying, "Yeah, I abandoned you to go buy tickets to the Taylor Swift concert." I mean, maybe the teacher would have been cool, be like, "Oh, I totally would have done the same thing."
The teacher would have asked to come along.
I mean, I did buy 2 tickets. I ended up taking my roommate, which was really fun. It was his first concert.
That's awesome.
He was very overwhelmed.
First concert.
He was so overwhelmed.
I can imagine.
He also he ran a triathlon in the morning, so he was like half asleep. Like we did quite literally a triathlon a day. We started off with an actual triathlon.
Yeah, and
then we went to the Mariners game. Big Mariners guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Then we went to the concert. Like maybe an hour before the show, he goes to the Starbucks in the stadium and buys a triple espresso. And he's like, "I need the energy." Just like, it's gonna be a long night. I'm like, oh, you don't need the energy. Like the show's gonna be awesome. He's like, I still need the energy. You didn't run a triathlon this morning. I'm like, but I drove you.
It's a triathlon in and of itself.
I was your hype man.
Yeah.
I walked around in a red sweatsuit and a white tank top.
There you go. Yeah, you worked hard that day.
I worked real hard. I mean, come on. Like I had to like chase him down to get good footage of like the 2 seconds I saw him.
But you got it, right?
I mean, I got it. I watched him run too, which was I'd never seen him run before that. He's an athlete, like big athlete, just not much of a runner.
Okay. That makes sense. I was gonna ask, have you ever seen him like work out?
Yeah, of course. He
Okay.
bikes mountain bikes all the time.
Okay. Very cool.
No, he's not like he didn't do it off the couch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah. All right, I got one more question for you. You are the resident Georgia Bulldogs fan on this podcast. How are you feeling about the dogs?
The Dogs, listen, I am so for your viewers that don't know me, I know we only have a couple minutes left, but I went to Emory, which Boston, we don't have like big college football in Boston.
Boston College is awesome.
Boston College rocks, but it's not like the local population gets that invested in BC football. Like if you went to BC, you get invested in BC football. But you've got more Dogs fans in Georgia than you do for like the Falcons. Like it's huge. So the Dogs sort of just became like my general team. I do not follow them as closely as I would like to. All I know is that Bama sucks this year. And well, sucks-ish. They're not
for their standards, they're not good.
For Bama standards, they are sucking. And so we'll see how much just the league favors them. But I don't know. Let me do something.
They did win last night.
That's awesome. Like it's fun to like watch them in the playoffs. I'm not like a diehard fan. It was more like fun like while I was in Atlanta to like watch them in the national championship. And Stetson Bennett rocks. I mean, he was older than a lot of like starting NFL QBs. Yeah. He would be like approaching the end of his career in the NFL.
He's not even on an NFL team anymore.
Well, he's got a good backup career as he was like serving chicken at a restaurant after the championship game.
Yeah.
Out of a drive-through.
Those are comparable careers. Backup NFL quarterback.
He'll be fine. He can get some promo deals and live a very happy life in rural Georgia.
All right. Well, Ben, I want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show. Great conversation we had.
This was awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Thank you. All right. Big Fred, over and out.
See you, Big Fred.
We got an exciting weekend of college football coming up. We got a big matchup with USC coming down in South Bend, Indiana to take on Notre Dame. Once again, USC has really not impressed me a whole lot this season on the defensive side. That's key, the defensive side. The offense is great, but the big question is, can Notre Dame's defense hold up enough to get some stops? We know Sam Hartman is going to torch the USC defense, so I expect a high-scoring game where it might come down to which team can get that one key defensive stop. We also got an exciting Pac-12 matchup with UCLA heading up to Corvallis, Oregon to take on Oregon State. UCLA just had that big win against Washington State and will look to keep rolling against the Beavers. I think the Beavers are going all out for what we know will be the final year to Pac-12 as we know it. I know it's unclear what lies ahead for the football team beyond this season, but it's nice to see them play their hearts out and just, have a great season, last season of Pac-12. And I cannot wait for the Ducks to crush them this November. Speaking about the Ducks, most important game of the week by far is Oregon coming up to Seattle to take on the Washington Huskies. This game is personal for me. Last year, Washington came to Autzen Stadium. They were able to escape with a win. I will put a huge asterisk next to it because if they hadn't injured Bo Nix, which made him sit out for a few plays, we would have won this game in my opinion. I want nothing more than to see the Ducks go to Husky Stadium and destroy Washington. Let's make it happen. Also, we might need to start talking more about Oregon's defense. They're good. They're sneaky good. I know they don't have all the flashy players and they don't force a ton of turnovers, but they're also not allowing a lot of points. This game's a huge test to see how good Oregon's defense is. We shut down Colorado, who was supposed to have a high-power offense, And now we're going to see how we stack up against Washington's very elite offense. You know I will be watching. All right, moving on to the NFL. We got an exciting NFL week coming up, starting on Thursday with the Denver Broncos taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. It's technically a division rivalry, but of all the division rivalry games, this is not what I'm crazy excited for, mainly because the Broncos, they're absolutely abysmal, and the Chiefs are going to wreck them. But for all the Swifties who might be tuning in, I hope you enjoy watching a terrible Broncos team take on Travis Kelce. Maybe Taylor will be at this game. You never know. She could be. There's going to be rumors all week that she might be. And only time will tell if she will be there or not on Thursday night. Moving into Sunday, we got our third London game of the season. We have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Tennessee Titans. Both teams are hungry for a win after tough division losses last week. Ravens offense needs to step it up, in my opinion. They didn't look great last week. I know they're a little banged up, but they did not look great against the Steelers, and somehow Lamar Jackson couldn't run all over them. The Titans always give the Ravens a run for their money, so this should be a fun game. I'm excited. Moving to early slate of games, we have the Colts taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Always a fun division game. It was nice to see Jonathan Taylor get his contract and that he and all other running backs deserve. But it turns out Zach Moss is also a very good running back. I hope the Colts find a way to utilize both of them and make a dual threat running attack. Also, looks like Gardner Minshew will be starting again. Big Gardner Minshew guy. I know as a Ducks fan, I should hate him. He played for Washington State. The guy's an absolute legend. He's just a free spirit who just does whatever he wants and does incredible things. Favorite thing he ever did? He bought an old bus that used to transport prison inmates, and he turned it into an RV. Not just any RV. This RV was incredible. He decked out a max. He had cheetah prints. He had lion prints all over the place. It looked like something straight out of the 70s, and it was awesome. He then spent the summer boondocking in a parking lot next to the gym he works out at during the summer. In other morning games, we have two one-win teams duking it out in the Bears and Vikings. The Vikings season, it's not looking great. Losing Justin Jefferson for an unknown amount of time is a huge blow. But maybe they'll be able to get a big win against the Bears and maybe start to kind of get their season on track. I wouldn't go that far. They're not very good. In the afternoon games, we have Bill Belichick taking on former assistant coach Josh McDaniels and the Las Vegas Raiders. As we have said in this podcast and our interview with Ben, the Patriots are looking like an absolute dumpster fire this season. But maybe they'll find a way to get a win against the Raiders team that is very much an average team. And if they beat the Packers, but they're still an average team, they are not a good team. Also, the Patriots need to avenge last year's game against the Raiders and how it ended, where Ramondre Stevenson and Jacoby Myers decided to throw laterals as they were running out the clock to send overtime. The Raiders grabbed that football and ran it for a touchdown. I laughed for a good minute watching that play. It was funny. Actually, while writing this podcast, I pulled it up on YouTube and just watched it a couple times. It's just a good laugh. It's just iconic the way Chandler Jones just pushes Mac Jones out of the way and runs the ball into the end zone. Beautiful. What a great football play. Moving into Sunday night, we have Daniel Jones of the New York Giants taking on primetime again. Yes, they are taking on the Bills in primetime. Again, I don't know why the NFL thinks people want to watch Daniel Jones, but here we go again. There are rumors Saquon Barkley will be coming back this week, even if he does play, which he might not. I still think the Bills are a far superior team. And always, like always, it will be fun to watch Josh Allen. He's just always a good player to watch. I really enjoy watching him. For our final game of the week, we got the Cowboys in primetime again, taking off the Los Angeles Chargers. I will always root for Justin Herbert, former Oregon Duck. I will always root for him regardless of who he plays, except for the Packers, of course. But hopefully Justin can beat the Cowboys. It will be so glorious if the Cowboys can get embarrassed again in primetime. That's our show for this week. Next week, I'm excited to announce we will be doing an NBA preview with my good friends Jacob Feldstein and Simon Gelbart. So you definitely want to tune into that. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week.